Hey everyone, I'm going to be going through my 3 steps to move to heal guide today, which is going to help you know how to keep your spine healthy longer and feeling younger. What if the key to keeping your spine healthy isn't more pills or more stretches, or simply waiting for time to try and heal it, but simply learning how to move the right way every single day? Today I'm going to share with you my Move to Heal system. I have helped thousands of people restore their spinal health naturally and keep their spines healthier longer and feeling younger. I'm Dr. Ryan Hetland, founder of RH Spinal Care in Inver Grove Heights, Minnesota. And after 17 years of helping people restore their spines and restore their nerve system, I've learned something critical. It's not about doing more, it's about doing things consistently the right way. And that's why I've created this Move to Heal guide for you. The spine is like a tree. It relies on daily nourishment for strength, for longevity, and for healing. And movement is like the water and the sunlight you provide to your body. And your brain and your spinal cord and all the nerves going out to your body are like the roots of that tree. And without these essential things for your body, for your spine, it will age faster. You will develop symptoms, you will develop diseases. This is why micro movements, posture resets, and daily habits matter way more than just occasional exercises. So in the guide, there are 3 major steps to cover, and in each step, there's some micro things within them. The first step is on developing your foundations. We want to make sure your joints and your spine are aligned right first. Because with misaligned joints, misaligned pelvis, misaligned spinal disc, all of your daily movements, your exercises are going to cause problems. These misalignments are going to cause things like degenerative joint disease, arthritis, degenerative disc disease, which of course is going to lead to things like inflammation, joint pain. Let's just look at a couple things for an example. Here we have a knee. In the knee, here's a kneecap right here. It's like we're looking at the knee like this. This top half of your knee is your femur. That femur bone goes all the way up into your pelvis. This is the top half of the femur. So it's not totally accurate, but this is all one bone right here. So if you just look at your pelvis, if your pelvis is misaligned in all kinds of different ways, you're not just affecting your back, you're affecting your hip. So your hip joint is going to wear and tear, develop arthritis, which also translates down to the top half of your knee. So if your pelvis is misaligned, your knee is going to be misaligned. So just for an example, if your pelvis is out of alignment, you're not only going to affect your lower back disc, you're going to affect your hip joint, you're going to affect your SI joint, which is crucial for just simply walking. And you're going to affect down this femur head to your knee, which cascades into your ankle. So here's what happens. People start with a misalignment in one place, and if you leave that misalignment there long enough, it'll cascade into other joints of your body. So this is step 1. If you have misalignments in your pelvis, in your spine, and you try to run, walk, exercise, do marathons, do yoga, do all of these things you want to do with your life, you have a weak foundation that's setting you up for arthritis and inflammation. Now, the other critical place to make sure is aligned properly is a vertebra in your spine called your atlas. It is the upper vertebra, the most upper one, that's holding up your skull. This is why they call it atlas, because the name comes from this, holding up the globe. So your atlas sits at the very top, right up here. I'm going to take this off. And this hole in the atlas is where your brainstem comes down from your brain and supplies your spinal cord. So if you picture this, my fingers here are like your brainstem sitting in the atlas. When your atlas is subluxated, it's misaligned, it puts pressure on your brainstem. We call this a subluxation. And if you think of someone saying, well, that's subpar, sub just means less than. So when we're talking about a subluxation, we're talking about how it's putting pressure on your nerves or your spinal cord, and allowing less than optimal nerve flow and brain power out to the parts of your body. So it is crucial in your spine to make sure your upper neck, because your brainstem is associated most closely right here, it's also closely associated with the vagus nerve. So if you're going to affect an area of your spine, this particular area is probably the worst area to affect in your body because of its effect on every single cell of your body. Now just think about this. If you get your head chopped off, I know this is crude, but if you get your head chopped off, you have zero life. Total disconnection of your brain to your body, all life gone. If you injure yourself up here in your upper neck bad enough, you can get paralyzed and lose all function of your whole body. But when you subluxate your neck, it's a partial misalignment that's putting a interference into your brainstem and into your spinal cord. When you do that, your muscles, your organs, of course your neck joints, are going to be drastically affected. And here's the tricky part about it. You don't always feel it. You might not even feel it. You might have some symptoms that you're kind of ignoring, like neck tightness, things like that. But when you have a skilled, highly trained chiropractor, like a Gonstead chiropractor or an upper cervical chiropractor, do very specific checks to your atlas, to your pelvis. These are step one on your move to heal system. Listen, we want you to be able to live your life to your fullest, doing everything you want to do. Picking up the grandkids if you have grandkids, picking up your own kids if you're a parent, exercising, yoga, hiking, doing whatever, just simply going for a walk. And listen, I treat pro athletes. So pro athletes have a lot of demand on their body. They want to play their sport. This step one, I want to take extra time to just make sure you clearly understand the importance of step one, because I really don't recommend you go to step two and step three until you have a great foundation of all of this. All right, so now that we covered step one, step two is where a lot of you are at. Step two is daily mobility, daily movement to stay aligned and to stay pain-free. But step two is like reintroducing a workout to you. Maybe you haven't worked out for a long time. We're not just gonna go for the 100-pound dumbbells and do 100-pound dumbbell curls if you haven't worked out or done that in forever. You have to remember when you're exercising, you're not just exercising the muscle. Your joints have to be able to handle the weight. Your joints have to be able to handle the stretch. And it's not only the muscle, it's the tendon that's attaching to the bone. It's the ligament, which is your cushions between bones. It's your spinal disc. These are the soft tissues, not just the muscle that you're moving. So when you stretch, you're not just stretching a muscle. When you stretch or exercise, you are stretching the tissues, the ligaments, the joints, the tendons, of course, and the muscle. So for your spine, one of the simplest things to do is to start your general range of motion. You want to make sure that you keep, as long as possible, your neck range of motion, your low back range of motion, in all of the ways you want to move your neck and your back. You want to do it for your hips, your shoulders, your ankles. So just for an example, I'll just show you with my neck. You want to be able to laterally bend your ear to your shoulder. Make sure you're not cheating and doing this, because that's not really moving your neck. Stretching straight laterally to create as much stretch to all the tissues. Holding it for a period of time, might be 5 seconds, 10 seconds. Coming back to neutral. Doing the other side straight. You're trying to do a straight lateral bend, getting stretch here. Now you see how much mobility you need, not just of the muscle, but you need the mobility in your discs and the joints to be able to do this move. So we've got lateral bends, you have rotation, just forcing your head to rotate as far as it can, as far as you're able to one way, and then do it this way. You might feel tightness in your SCM and the scalenes muscles. You're also, if you're not aligned, you're gonna feel it in your discs and your joints. Which brings me to another thing. You have to have enough body awareness to really pay attention to what it is you're feeling. And a highly skilled, competent chiropractor should be educating you on how to become more body aware, more neck aware. Lastly, we have the flexion and extension. Most people don't have a problem with flexion because we're sitting down on our phones like this so much. A lot of you have reverse curves, flattened neck curves. Your neck curve should have a normal curvature like this. A lot of you are walking around with straight necks or even reverse necks because you're like this or like this, all kinds of variations. So again, step 1 is making sure you're aligned. Step 2 is restoring the normal mobility to these key areas of your body. You're gonna need them for your daily movements. You're gonna need them for your athletics and your sports. So one last tip, when you learn this in Fayette, I learned this a long time ago, where you just roll your neck like this. Time out. If your joints are misaligned, this rolling of your neck, this dynamic movement of your neck, could be part of the root issue of why you're having degenerative joints and degenerative discs. Until you pass step 1 and step 2, I would not recommend these dynamic movements. So the guide's gonna touch on more of these type of things in step 2. I even have a link to an at-home program, not my program, someone else's program that I recommend you check out. That link is a powerhouse for you to check out at home on the internet. And I highly recommend you look at what she's showing you. And I don't know what the price is, but at the time of this video when I looked, it was $27 for a lifetime access to it. All right, now lastly is step 3, where you all wanna be, which is just living it out. Doing everything you wanna do with your life, whether it's the exercise, the daily movements, the pain-free movements. Now in this category, I'm gonna touch on things like your sleep posture, your pillow, your body and spine awareness, how you're sitting in a chair at work or at home, how you're sitting and laying on the couch, and some simple posture reset drills you can apply. So listen, I hope this video is helpful for you. If you want my free guide, the 3-step to move to heal guide, just click the link, put your name and email in, and we'll happily send you this Move to Heal guide. And my final closing thought and quote is this: what you do regularly begins to change your life and your posture. Have a great day.